All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming back with another lesson, and I just want to speak on this article right here. As you can see, I'm dealing with the recent report, the CPI report that came out as far as regarding the state of the economy in Babylon, And if you've been paying attention, which is hard not to see what's going on, in the news and everything, they've been dealing with the rate hikes and whatnot. Things have just been continually getting worse, and they're not even pronouncing it that we're in a recession still as of yet. Nonetheless, everyone else, like all the different little economic people or people that speak about the economy and stuff, they're already saying that we're in the midst of one right now. But they're saying, certain people are saying, it's going to happen next year pretty much, which we're already in the midst of a recession now, like far as the middle class people and regular Americans, they're feeling it now, and things are only going to continue to get worse, like this article is mentioning. All right, so I wanted to read a little bit of this and then hit some precepts. So this is from the Natural News, and you can see it says it shows the worst inflation ever ahead of midterms, and that's like I was mentioned here and there often. The times we're living in is a lot of things that are happening are unprecedented. They never happened before, but now it's becoming normal for unprecedented events to take place, right? Just like you see right now what's going on in America with the interest rate hikes, inflation and whatnot. This is the highest it's ever been in a very long time, in America. But I'm going to read a little bit of this, and it says the latest inflation numbers are out, and the situation is ugly, to say the least. The BLS released what one report described as a shocking CPI print, so unexpectedly hot that even the bears were shocked. It said the report came out on Thursday, and the markets plunged only to see the plunge protection team jump right in as usual to prop it all back up in a desperate attempt to keep this corrupt, crumbling system afloat for another day. And that's what they've been doing. The economy was really supposed to crash back, in 2020, but they propped it up and just started pumping money like crazy. And now they're in a situation where it's no more. They're not doing that no more. They're just, just letting it just crash out pretty much at this point. They believe that raising interest rate hikes is going to lower the inflation, but that's just making things worse on the people, as far as the cost of goods. And it kind of mentions that like in this little part right here, it says, it is brutal, said Jim Karen of Morgan Stanley Investment Management. The issue now is that inflation has moved from the goods sector and has permeated into the services sector. So like dealing with rent and things like that. So pretty much, things are as you can see with the economy, there's no hill in Babylon, all right? Things are only getting progressively worse. And then on top of that, this economic situation isn't only going on in America. This is going on globally, out there in Europe, China, all these other countries. They're having the same issues regarding inflation. Why? Because they all followed that same standard or that same monetary system that America had put in place, the Federal Reserve. And you using fake money is only going to lead to something like this happening regardless. Like you see in these other countries, they've already experienced hyperinflation and things like that, but it hasn't came here to America yet. And now you're starting to slowly see it happen. prices on things going up, you know, right in your face, to the point happening so quick to where you literally notice it. At first it was like real subtle and you didn't notice it that bad, but now it'll literally happen like overnight, day near, or a week later, you know, prices just jumping up crazy. And the year not even over with. They're still planning on doing more rate hikes the rest of this year, you know. But the first scripture I wanted to get is in Jeremiah 51. It's I'll start at verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's exactly what has going on. All these other nations, they followed the same custom, the same ways of America. And now these other nations are mad. All right. They're suffering from trying to copy basically the ways of America. You know, having a monetary system, using fake currency, trying to just follow the customs of Babylon, and now the nations are mad, man. All right. Verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And that's what they're trying to do now, you know. Just like I said, 2020, they tried to heal Babylon by doing what? Coming and pumping all that money. Now that literally did the opposite effect. You know, things were cool for another 2 years, and now we're in the situation we're in now, where it's going to have leading into next year is going to be even worse because of, what they did 2 years ago. And there was really no saving it, because at the end of the day, the way that things is set up, with the monetary system is set up to collapse at some point. And this is ultimately leading into their plan, the least agenda as far as the Great Reset. All right, because this is a global thing. It isn't like it's just happening in America only. This is a problem in all these other countries as well, as far as the monetary system. All right. We're continuing on. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. For her judgment have reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even unto the skies. And that's what you're going to start seeing happen as well, man. People starting to leave America because it's getting so bad out here to where you damn near better off going into another country. The way that things are going downhill over here. And you're slowly seeing that, man, as far as not necessarily leaving America, but they're trying to flee to different states because it's getting too high over here. So you think you go into another state, you're going to escape. Hey, prices, the same thing going to happen over there. So it's ultimately no escaping that, that hell, basically. There's nowhere else you can go because this is happening everywhere, man. All right, the next scripture I wanted to get is in 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And that's the times that we're in, man. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. This year literally has been, as far as, dealing with the stock market and stuff like that, it has been the worst year for America in a very long time. People was thinking that stuff was just going to keep on running up, booming forever. All right. Everything is down, to the point to where it's literally looking like it's just never going to bounce back, in some people's mind. And they're expecting things to go lower, which means that things are going to get worse in the economy. If prices on this, in the stock market are going to go lower, that means that things in the economy are going to get worse for the people, because that's a reflection of, the state of the economy, supposedly, It says, the beginnings of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And that's what you're going to see happen, man. Because if prices on goods and services and rent gas, all these other things are going up except for your rent. I mean, except for your wage. You're not going to be able to keep up with the pace of inflation, you know? Because all right, it used to cost you, 2 years ago probably cost you out here, if you had a regular basic little Honda or something, $40 or so to fill up a tank. Now you might be dropping almost 100 just to fill your tank all the way up from E. And then things are only going to keep going up to the point to where you literally have to decide what you're going to cut out now and what you're going to keep. So, and then people are still barely getting by. They're to the point to where they're not going to even be able to survive anymore. And that's what the elites ultimately want. They want to make the people suffer to the point to where when they present that, ultimately present that mark, you're going through so much hell, so to speak, all right, trying to survive and maintain, that you're willing to accept anything they tell you to do in order for you to continue to survive. That's where you want things to be at, where you're literally dependent upon him for your survival and for you to take care of yourself and your family. And things are getting ready to get bad, man. They already are bad now, but they're getting worse, I should say. And they're not going to get any better. They telling the people that they got to do this to make the economy bounce back, or to save the economy, to make things good, this and that. Hey, things aren't going to get any better for you people, man. It's going to just continue to get worse here. And you've been seeing that if you've been paying attention. All right, continuing on, it says, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And you've seen that with wars as well, man. And whenever, throughout history, whenever America was in a bad situation financially, economically, they always was in the going to war as well during that time. All right. So World War III is right around the corner. All right. Famine, great death, because Esau, he's getting ready to come with that wrath upon the people. All right. Hey, Revelation 12:12, man. The beginning of evils, man. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The rest of these people in the world, they don't have anyone to trust in. Who are they going to lead upon? They lead upon Esau and his system. And that's what the type of society he's set up, to where people are dependent upon him. They don't believe in a higher power to sustain them. Speaking about our people, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't trust in a higher power to actually take care of you and get you through all these things. They're trusting in the enemy, going to him for the need of all things, for the want of all things, and believing that he's going to provide for you. And he's setting you people up, man, for the okie doke. And y'all fall for it every time, just like y'all did when he told you to take that stuff for the situation going on with the pandemic. Nobody hesitated. They all took it. Just to do what? Go back to a normal way of living. And what do you think people are going to do when he presents them with the mark? He tell you that take this, and then you're going to be able to go back to a normal way of living. You're not going to have to worry about high prices on things. You're not going to have to worry about this or that. Everything's going to be good. Hey, people are not going to hesitate. They're going to just instantly go line up to take it. All right. That's what it's ultimately leading up to, man. And things are just going to get worse from this point on, man, because we still have to, the time of Jacob's trouble, I'm going to wrap up on this one. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that day is coming, man, to where there's none like it. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of things that are going on are unprecedented, but it's literally this time of Jacob's trouble is literally going to be worse than any other time throughout history, man. And you're seeing the stage being set for it to happen, on all aspects. Food shortages. We already been have supply chain issues since the economy opened back up, so to speak. Now you're seeing those supply issues affect food, fertilizers being affected. All right, crops are being affected. All right, wars finna break out. Hey, so everything is just, the stage is being perfectly set up for that time, man. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble, to where it's going to be so bad to where it's like none other time. But it says he shall be saved out of it. And who's going to be saved, man? The elect and the 1/3, the ones who truly believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and put their faith and trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, they're going to be the ones to make it through these hard times that are coming, man. And these hard times are right around the corner. We're already in the midst of hard times now, and it's only going to continue to be harder, even much more harder, you know, next year. All right. And so, hey, this place is done and it's out of here, man. There's no hill in Babylon. All right. Babylon's literally circling the drain at this point. They propped it up, you know, flooding it with money, trying to keep the economy going. But now it's no saving it. You know, you just gotta, they just letting it completely implode, so to speak. So this place is through, man. Like I was reading in Second Esdras, man. All right, many miseries are on the way coming here, man. And the only way to be protected from those things is by being in the good graces of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And so with that, you know, I'm gonna wrap up and give all praises again to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors again to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word, truth, and sincerity. Shalom.